Hello and welcome, genties and ladlemen, and welcome back to episode 32 of the Cracking the Shell podcast, where we go behind the. I'm not cutting this out. I'm not doing it again. Where we go behind the scenes of the blast beats and monster noises and everything else of the Glasgow and wider Scottish and UK metal scenes. On this episode, we have the delightful boys from Edinburgh's Hammer. How is it going, gentlemen?
It's going down well, man. We've had a very good year. We wrapped up our last show in Dundee the other day, and yeah, it couldn't be better. Like it's going well.
It's
Agreed.
good stuff. Good stuff. You're really flying the flag for the boy for our country down at Bloodstock as well. How was when you first got that kind of you want to play Bloodstock? What do you remember your kind of reaction?
Oh, I remember we were at LaBelle, and we're all I think just stood amongst our friends in our group, and I just was holding my partner, and we were prepared for whatever was going to go on. The competition was stellar, everyone was great, but when our name got read out, I think me and my girlfriend was just like bouncing, up and down on the spot, holding each other, like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. It was cool. I don't know about you, Piotr. What did you do?
Well, I'm usually very reserved, so
Yeah.
I did smile and shouted, "Yay!" I guess.
Yay! I'm playing the biggest
Nah,
metal
I was
festival on the planet.
exactly.
Yay!
No, I was very pleased. It was very good to have that happen. We wanted to try before, we wanted to get that, but I think conflicting schedules and such things didn't let us to go into Metal to the Masses previously. And this time yeah, we went in, but we really weren't sure to the very last moment. So yeah.
And how did it kind of once you that kind of excitement died down, then it was like, right, we got to actually practice now.
Yeah.
How was it kind of preparing for it up to, I suppose, right as you're walking out on stage?
I think the great thing about Metal to the Masses is it through being in the competition, it kind of takes you on it helps you evolve a little bit, and a lot of the like there's like judging criteria that you wouldn't think about, like like smooth transitions, like switching over, making sure like you're all good on stage, that your transitions between your songs make sense, just sort of starting and stopping and waiting for a backing track to start up. And I think by the time we got to Bloodstock, I think the competition like did so many favors for us. It leveled us up a lot. Um, and I think by the time we got to the competition, it was just making sure we were keeping up that practice regimen we had for the competition, and we were just bringing it to the next level. I mean, the key thing for us was making sure that you know getting through to the final, and if we were to win, was like not dropping momentum, because it would be very easy to just think, oh, we're playing the new blood stage, that's it, like that's it. Now it's like making sure that, yeah, we're gunning for that, but we're also keeping our eyes on the horizon and making sure that we're not gonna like bottom out and be forgotten as that, oh, that's that band from Edinburgh that played, Melt to the Masses once. But the whole experience was incredible. Like Slow Dragon Music that put it together did a fantastic job. All the venues were really, really good. And like personally for me, like meeting all the other members of bands and stuff was amazing. Like I'll say it over and over again. There's so much talent
Any
up here.
particular meet anybody that particularly was like a pinch me, like, oh fuck, did I just meet that guy moment?
I think uh there were a few. I'm trying to think of so like they were in the final. There were we had like Hateball, for example, who've been
Mm.
around for quite some time, and they're fantastic at what they do, and they've got a real good like stage show. But then you also had like some younger guys in there as well with Chekhov's gun, and you always kind of thinking, oh, they're young, they've got the energy. I'm in my 30s now. I can't, how can I keep up with that? And you're thinking, oh. And you want to see it, and then like they also had like Medusa's Touch and stuff, Volcano X, who are all kind of like, I'd say like the best at what they do, in terms of that like hard rock, hard metal, classic metal, especially Volcano X. Unfortunately, they're not together anymore with that like kind of power metal stuff that Bloodstock is really like used to be really well known for. And it was really cool to sort of just perform with all these bands. But even through the heats, there was a band, Erebor, who are actually up from Newcastle. There was a spare slot. Sick to meet them. it was just sort of, I think the right attitude to go into those things with is, like, yeah, you want to meet people you've heard about, but it's also just like getting to meet everyone. It was sick. It was really cool.
Yeah. And what about when you finally get to Bloodstock and you're wandering the grounds and you're seeing all these bands? Did you get to meet anybody else that was like a oh kind of heavens open kind of moment there?
Piotr, did you meet anyone that you were like, oh,
I'm trying to remember, but
that's
I'm
so long ago?
horrible with names. So, yes, I have. I did meet some people that I thought I wouldn't have met otherwise. But I can't remember the exact names. But it was what was good is, everyone was kind of there as equals, the people that we met. Whether the band was um, you know pretty much at the same point as we are playing New Blood stage, or whether those were people playing on the main stage. Then everyone spoke pretty much on the same level.
Yeah.
That what I haven't seen was people looking down on other bands. Now I know that it might happen sometimes, in some places, but that wasn't my experience, which was good, which is great.
Yeah, it was cool. I mean, like when you go through, you get to go into like the press tent and everything. So you get to speak to like quite a lot of people across a few publications, and that was really cool. Met some really cool photographers. Um, the sort of the PR team that run all of that. It was like really sick to like speak to some of these people who, if you're not in like the scene, you wouldn't really know who they are. But like, for example, meeting the Cosa Nostra team was like cool because like they do a lot of stuff. They work with some like massive bands. But like for me personally, it was really cool to meet like Burner. They were backstage on the day that we played, and we had a great chat with them. I really enjoyed their set. They're a band who I think are sick. And got to meet some of the people from the label from like Church Road, like Sammy, the guitarist from Employed to Serve, was just like strolling about, and I had my Employed to Serve bum bag on with all of my accoutrements and my mobile phone in it. So that was a bit of a fanboy moment for me. I got to admit, it was uh, it was sick. But yeah, as Piotr said, like there was no like it didn't really feel like there was much of a hierarchy. There was no one walking around like whoa. Um, it was sick. It was so cool.
It's really cool, and it's really good that you guys have been kind of flying the flag for this scene. Obviously, Disposable had been down there. I think what was it last year? I don't remember. I'm sure
Oh, they
they.
were with us. They were there. They were here
Yeah, they were with
this
Oh
us.
year.
yeah, oh yeah. So they were. I'm an idiot. I'm
But that
very
was
well
sick.
prepared, aren't I? But
But it was sick that it was kind of even better news for us that they were going down as well because we played on the same day on the Friday. They opened up the New Blood stage, which was like they played such like a good set. It was cool to be around backstage like when they were around backstage. It was really nice. As I've said, like I was saying just before the call, and I've said before, like I've met so many sick people through the music scene since I moved up here to Scotland from Jersey, and like yeah, getting to go with people who have been so cool to me, and like seeing them succeed is like so nice,
Yeah, because
yeah,
we've seen them and we've known them. Not without Jim here, but kind of in Edinburgh, they were around for quite a while. We've been going to their gigs for quite a few years before, and those are pretty much pals. And it was great when we heard that they're actually going to be there as well. So it was yeah, it was really cool. They had a unlucky power cut, but they managed to get through that. They managed to kind of keep the audience there and themselves, not completely stressing. It was difficult start for them, but they ended up, as Jim said, just playing a heavy set for everyone with sharks floating about.
yeah,
And yeah,
yeah. For me, like
yeah, no, good fun.
they're good disposal. Like we played a few times with them. We played with them the week after. Bloodstock at Festival at La Belle in Edinburgh. We played with them for their release show the other weekend. It was fantastic, and like every time I see them, they somehow manage to go strength to strength. I remember seeing them at like Summer Hall earlier in the year, and it was like these guys really are sick. And every time you see them, it's like wow. and I get that for so many bands up here. There's so much talent.
There
It's incredible.
genuinely is. It's almost getting hard to keep track. Like even earlier today, I was checking out a couple of new releases. There's a new hardcore band called Bathed in Sin that
Mm.
has I think the drummer from Iniquitous Savagery in it. I think he's in that band. I might be incorrect there. I know he's helped out in some way. He's a mad session drummer. He's played live with pretty much everybody. It is
Okay.
absolutely mad. They put out a new EP there. It's really sick, full on Glasgow hardcore. Then
Mm.
there was a doom band called Tar from Glasgow that put out their first demo. Really promising stuff. And I'm finding that every day, just these bands are getting better and better.
Yeah.
Jaundice, Rancid Cadaver, Brain Bath,
Oh man.
Penny Coffin were the kings of
Yeah.
death metal at this point, and I'm living for it.
Yeah, but it's also quite diverse because you got like bands like Coven coming up as
Mm.
well. I remember seeing them with Famine like a few months ago, and I was
Oh, I
like,
love Coffin.
I was like, this
Coffin,
is my new.
honestly.
I was like, this is my new favorite band. Like that, so sick. You got Mrs. Fright House that are doing stuff that's like totally unique and like awesome. You got yeah, you've got Below the Neck who are like a really sick, hardcore band from further up north. This Brain Bath are just insane. Like as a death metal band, obviously Coffin March, yeah, Penny Coffin. You've got there's a lot. There's a lot where
There's so
sport
many.
sport. Yeah,
There is
yeah,
Yeah.
so
yeah,
many, and I am living for it. And there's only going to be more. And I'm
yeah,
really looking forward to it. I mean, and it's growing in so many ways. It's like prime example, the guys from Brain Bath, they put on Dead of Winterfest earlier this year.
yeah.
One day, 11 bands, Ivory Blacks, sold out by the
It
end
was
of the
sick.
day. Really good. They're doing it again next year, over 2 days. More bands, same venue. It's going to sell out again. And it's going to
Yeah,
sell out before the show, I can already tell.
yeah. I was at the last one, and it was heavy. It was
It was
good.
so much
It
fun.
was
It's a
real
whole
good.
day of death metal. What else can I ask for?
Exactly.
It was so, so good. But before we talk about everything that you've done so far and everything that's coming up, because I know there's definitely some stuff coming up, I'd like to rewind the clock a little bit and find out just how we got here, about your own stories, finding music, finding metal first bands, how Hammer came to be. I don't even know what to call this kind of information, but I suppose just the background lore or something, but you get
The
the
law.
idea. The lore.
Yeah.
The Hammer
Okay.
lore.
The lore. The lore goes to back in time to the, well, dark times before COVID, or maybe bright times before COVID. Quite a while back actually. So I myself, I'm actually not from Scotland. You might have
Mhm,
guessed by the name. But I've been in Scotland for 13 years now.
mhm.
And I've managed to find a group of friends here who eventually, cutting some of that long story short, had a band that they started. It was kind of for our drummer Keith, who's in Dog Tired. Back then, I think he was also in Rune Master. But he was just as a side thing, and same Adam and Dave are guitarists, and they were looking for someone on bass, and I played bass in at the end of high school for about a few years, and then haven't for another 5 or 6. And I was like, okay, let's try. That was very painful to try to get back up to speed because Adam was as crazy in terms of his music creations as he is now, which means there was a lot of catching up to do. But that, I think it must have been end of 2018, something like that, that we kind of got together, started practicing for our previous vocalist as well. And we ended up creating an album, recording it completely DIY, managed to get drums recorded in one day because one of our friends was wanting to test microphones and recording gear, and we were just like in the practice room, okay, start recording, and ended up going through all the tunes that are on the first album that's still on Spotify that was recorded in one day. And then after that, kind of DIY at Adams, pretty much just recording with him plugged in. And we released that album, and we had an album launch immediately before lockdown. Pretty sure the last gig before lockdown has happened. That was that. So unfortunately, we lost completely the momentum that we were building up, as everyone else probably did. Um, and then after kind of lockdown started to ease up, we were playing gigs here and there, but it was mainly between in Edinburgh, Banshees, Bannermans, and Legends. It was pretty much just kind of locally with friends or sort of organized with friends bands. And it wasn't really until Jim has joined us. When was that exactly? Was it 2 years ago?
Oh, it was beginning of last year.
Yeah.
20,
So
yeah, beginning of 23. Yeah.
yeah. So beginning of 2023, after Jim joined us, I think we got a bit of wind in our sails, and I'll let you continue from here.
Yeah. Oh, where do I start? So, yeah, obviously by the accent, I'm not from Scotland, but I must insist I'm not English. I'm from Jersey in the
It's
Channel
all right.
Islands.
It's all right, guys. He's one of the cool ones. He is one of the cool ones. As we
Yeah.
all know, the English suck outside of Geordies,
I
Mancunians, and anybody from Birmingham. Which
exactly.
Birmingham, obviously, because they gave us heavy metal, right? So
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
get a pass. They get a pass, but
Yeah.
that's no problem. You came up from
But
Jersey. Jersey, I can speak. Fucking hell. You came up from Jersey, found this absolute wealth of music and people and stuff.
yeah, man. Yeah, man. So yeah, like I moved up here in 2022 with my now ex-wife. So as you can imagine, my first few months in Scotland were a bit like, oh, but like one of the first things I moved here like not knowing anyone. By the way, I moved to just outside of Edinburgh, um, near South Queensferry, basically, and I got a job. And that was it. I had like we had like a few mutual friends in the city, but first thing I did when I got it was like need to get in a band. I've been in bands like my whole life. Since I was kind of played everything in bands that you can really, and I kind of just like fired out some went onto some local Facebook groups and was like, "Does anyone want a musician?" And I was like, "I can do vocals, I can do all this and that." And I think it was Keith, the drummer for Hammer, just said, "Yeah, yeah, Hammer are looking for a vocalist." And I just rocked up to this darkened industrial estate in New Battle one January evening, and yeah, I mean, I gotta say, like, yeah, like the guys in the band are, I'm so grateful for them. I'm grateful for the scene. I feel like I've been welcomed, and made to feel at home in a time where I really needed that. You know what I mean? And I think when my split went up, everyone was like, "Oh, you're just gonna move back to Jersey, aren't you?" And I was like, "No, man, I've like, got a life up here now. Like I've got friends. I'm in a band that I'm really enjoying." Um, so yeah, so I joined the band at the beginning, top of 23, and I think I just yeah, I just love screaming and roaring down a microphone and having
That's
fun and
pretty much what we needed. So
yeah,
it's screaming and
so
roaring and having
yeah,
fun.
yeah, yeah, it's fun. It's fun first, but I think we've been able to like I think that since I've joined, the band's probably got more aggressive and like a bit heavier, a bit more death metally.
I'll not complain at that, will I?
Exactly. So this year was sick because we got to do two singles, From Beyond and Accelerator. And yeah, we wound up playing Bloodstock, played lots of sick gigs this year. Um,
Well, we played around. We actually played abroad in England for the first time.
yeah,
So that was I think was it Nottingham that was the
it was
first.
Nottingham. Yeah, the
Yeah,
Tap Ensemble.
that was the first time Hammer played outside of Scotland.
Yeah,
And yeah, we'll be obviously doing that a bit more as well.
yeah. It's been very sick to get outside of like when I joined the band, I was more than happy to just play Edinburgh loads, but 'cause the Cowgate's fantastic. You got like four venues pretty much in the same area. I love it so much. Banshees is a very special place to me. But getting to Glasgow, getting up to Inverness, Dundee recently, it's been very sick to like get around. And I think it's just been a year of just quite substantial growth for us. And I think obviously Bloodstock's helped with that. Melt to the Masses has helped. Um, but yeah, we've just been trying to spread and grow. And I felt very proud that I was able to represent Scotland. At Bloodstock, I don't take that lightly. Um, I am a bloke that sounds very English. But yeah, it's just solidified my love for Scotland and everything I've got to be involved with since I've been here. It's been incredibly awesome.
It's because he's assimilating into one of us. He's becoming one of us. It's like
Yeah.
you saying that you don't sound Scottish and you're in a Scottish band. It kind of reminds me of how Nick Holmes from Paradise Lost is in Bloodbath and he's
Mm.
announcing we're a Swedish death metal band. It's like,
Yeah,
mate, you're from Yorkshire.
yeah,
The rest of them are Swedish, but he's just like, I'm from fucking Yorkshire.
yeah, yeah. Well, whenever I'm on stage, I'm like, "Hello, we're Hammer. We're from Edinburgh, or we're from
Except
Pennycook."
me, but I don't count. It's fine.
Yeah, yeah. Nah, it's great, and it's been so sick. The guys are lovely boys, and everyone I've met, I've not really met any arseholes, man. Like it's
Me
been so
either, to be
sick.
honest. Me
Yeah, yeah.
either. And then you don't really hear from them because they're quickly just kind of you, fuck off.
You do away with them.
Yeah, a lot of they just kind of stop being around because no one really, interacts with people like that.
And they know
So
that if they do show up and they do try some fuck shit, they are going to get their arses handed to them in a silver platter.
yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Note this podcast does not condone violence unless they deserve it. Gotta have the legal disclaimer there. Not that I'm actually making any money of this. Do I look like fucking Joe Rogan? Don't answer that. But yeah, been a big year for you guys. Put out the two singles. They're incredible. I got to hear them when you played in April with the lovely boys in Brujeria, which I'm so thankful I finally got to see them, especially after their amazing new album last year and what is unfortunately looking like their final one. But rest in peace, Juan Brujo and Pinchy Peach. It's a it's a sin that they passed so close to each other. It is a real shame, but their music will live on, and it's just so fucking good, isn't it?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it was great to play that gig. It was absolutely amazing. Um, yeah, I think it was even our first Glasgow gig, and
Hmm.
it was that. So
Yeah,
couldn't
that's true.
couldn't ask it to be any better.
It
I'm
was
loving
good.
seeing all my friends just doing so many cool things. It's like we were talking earlier about all these different bands. Have bands like Mrs. Frighthouse opening for Enter Arma, like
Mm.
one of their favorites. I'm sure that would have been pants shittingly amazing, for
Yeah,
lack of a
yeah.
better word. And you've got people like Sacrificial Burial opening up for Soulfly, which sounds
Mm.
insane. I wish I'd have made that because I love Soulfly as well, which I know this will be controversial. I like Soulfly more than Sepultura.
I mean, sometimes you just got to groove it, man. You got to get groovy with it.
I gotta have the groove, man. I love even when it comes to death metal and stuff like that, I love, blast beats and but the thing that really gets me is bands like Obituary or
Mm.
Sanguisugabogg or Gatecreeper. Those bands that just are
Mm.
rocking. Not in the like super clean, polished Nickelback way, but just
Mm.
rocking. You
No,
know what I mean?
Gatecreeper's a great example. I saw a few people like getting upset about the new album. They're like, "Oh, it's different. It's not like
But it's
Entombed Worship.
brilliant.
It's so sick. Like Caught in the Treads,
Oh,
the
that
Black
song's an
Curtain.
anthem.
Yeah,
Honest to
yeah.
God.
The stuff on that is like so nicely refined. It's got
Flesh
that like
Habit with that groovy bass line in the intro
yeah,
as well.
yeah.
It's definitely
Because
in my top albums of the year for sure. I'll be doing
yeah,
a solo episode where I sit and blather about albums for an hour and a half and other stuff, but that's gonna be my kind of year end kind of thing that I'll hopefully get out before New Year,
nice.
maybe. But yeah. But speaking of all these amazing bands, what I'd like to do now is I've done this in a few episodes. I have a new segment called the Sir Edward Cracking the Shell Untitled Trivia section. So far, three bands have played it. James from Hellripper. We've had the guys from Doppelganger, and just yesterday, actually, as of when I'm recording this, we had the lovely duo of Ophanim play. So far, the standings are James with 4.5 points out of 10, the Doppelganger guys with 3 points out of 10, and Ophanim with 2.5. Which is it's not to discredit them in any way. They're all lovely people and very intelligent and very creative. but that's the standings as it is. So now what we're going to do is we're going to see how much Hammer knows. Will they beat James? Will they at least get in the top three? Let's find out with question number one. And that is.
You'll do the heavy lifting here. Definitely.
That's what I said. That's what I said before you joined the call, Phil.
Well, let's find out, shall we? First question. In the movie Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, in the club scene, what song was Cannibal Corpse performing?
I know it was Cannibal Corpse. Uh, was it Icon Blood? No,
It
it
was
wasn't, was it?
not. What do you think?
As it was Cannibal Corpse.
It was, but the
That's a
answer
tr
was it was Hammer Smash Face.
I should have said that. That would have been the easy one. That would have been the easy one. That's interesting. That's a bit of trivia that you always get, but no one ever actually asked. No one's ever asked me, "Oh, what song is it?" So,
Now you know.
what poser am I?
You can't be any more self-admitted posers than Oppenheimer were, but still love them, lovely people. But the next question is, what is the name of the first Sepultura album with Derek Green?
I know this. I should really know this.
Yeah, I already said I'm horrible at names. It's just like Swiss cheese in terms of names. Falls in one ear, falls out the other.
I feel bad, yeah, because Derek Green is such a good vocalist, and
He is definitely,
Derek
but
Green
there's that whole
Sepultura.
thing of like, it's not the real Sepultura,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I mean, he's still killer in his own right, but I've never really
he's very
sat down
good.
and listened to Derek Green era Sepultura. It's like
Oh,
even when
they,
they played in fucking the Barrowlands, I didn't stay for them. I was just like Jesus Piece and
yeah,
Obituary.
yeah. Oh, I mean, they played at Bloodstock, not this year, but like, I saw them last year, and they were really good. I thought like, wow, like I was really
You
blown away.
just before they start, you see a giant sea of people immediately fuck off somewhere else because it's not the Cavalera brothers.
Yeah. I do not know the answer to this question, I'm afraid. My mind is totally blank.
That is all right. The answer was Against. Came out in 1998.
Yeah,
Bit of a rocky start, but
we
I
can still
think
get
he.
eight.
All right, next question. Which band actually coined the term thrash metal?
Do you know, Piotr?
Hmm. Don't know why I want to think Metallica, but it's probably not.
I reckon it was Megadeth. I reckon it was Dave Mustaine. Sounds like something he would do.
You are both
Yeah,
incorrect.
let's
It
go with
was
that.
actually Anthrax.
Oh, for goodness.
Because on their
Goodness
first
God.
album, they had the song Metal
Metal thrashing
Thrashing
mad.
Mad.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That
Whoops.
It's like how Venom coined the term black metal,
Black metal.
even though they
Yeah.
really were just thrash with shit production. I love Venom, don't get me wrong, but you cannot deny it is just thrash metal with shit production. Or not shit, but less than stellar production will be the politically correct term for it. But
Yeah.
anyway, this one doesn't have names. This one is how many studio albums, just studio albums, not live shit, not compilations, any of that, did Children of Bodom release before disbanding in 2019?
I'm gonna have to do this. Uh, Dead Jet, the blue one, the red one.
I love how it's just blue one, red one, green one, yellow one,
Trying,
one that's kind of green but not really.
yeah. I'm trying to remember the. I'm trying to remember the. I fucking love Children of Bodom. It still sucks that Alexi Leo is dead
I know,
because that's a band I never got to see live.
me either.
Uh, five,
What's your
Yeah,
guess,
let's go with
Piotr?
that.
because there was
Five?
a lot
Yeah,
of live. There was a lot of live albums, but
yeah.
It was 10.
wow, bloody hell!
Yeah, Jim's
And that was
five, my five. That's 10.
that's 10. Yeah. We meant to have that added together. I didn't know they made so many albums, but
Yeah, I thought there was a lot of live stuff, a lot of
They
that,
did do a
but
few live records, and I think some like EPs, and they did the covers album as well.
Yeah. Was
oh
it to
yeah.
include that, or was it just
Just
regular
full
studio?
on studio albums.
That's
Yeah.
mad. 10 albums. Um, damn.
And
I
all
know
of
no.
them are pretty solid. It's the same with like Black Dahlia Murder. It's so consistent.
Yeah. I agree.
Love them
Oh,
as well.
yeah,
I really like the new album as well. I liked it more than Verminous, funnily enough.
it is good. It is good. Obviously, big sucky news with Trevor, one of my favorites.
Hmm.
But the new album, I think Brian is doing a good
Ryan's
job.
nailed it. You couldn't
Yeah,
get anybody better, for sure.
yeah, absolutely. It's true to what they were, but it's still still interesting and cool.
For
So yeah,
sure.
they've never done a bad album in my
It's
opinion.
true, they haven't.
Yeah.
There's just ones that are stupidly good.
Yeah.
Um, like I really like obviously Nocturnal's great. Oh fuck, what was the purple one called? Oh, that's gonna annoy me, but that's my favorite, the purple one. Oh, watch, I'll do this and then I'll hang up and then it'll be like, oh fuck, it's that one. But anyway, next question. Which of these bands is not signed with Nuclear Blast Records? Elevate, Bleed From Within, or Signs of the Swarm?
I want to say signs of the swarm.
What do you think, Jim?
LVAR, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Bleed from within. I've seen
I'm
the
pretty sure I
tweets.
saw a Bleed from Within video with Nuclear Blast.
We'll go with Signs of the Swarm.
You are correct. They are signed with Century Media.
Good
And
stuff,
well
Piotr.
deserved because they came from Unique Leader and fair play to them. I love how Century Media is just stealing all the deathcore bands because they have fucking Mental Cruelty, they have Signs, they have Distant.
Yeah,
They're just stealing all the deathcore bands. I'm more than happy for it. But
it's an interesting label, Century Media, to see how they've evolved.
it
Um,
definitely is for sure. Man, they're still putting out stellar releases, so they've not went the direction of Earache, which we're very
mhm.
glad about. But that's a whole other thing. Next question. What Judas Priest song did Death cover on their final studio album, The Sound of Perseverance?
Fucking Painkiller.
That is correct. It is Painkiller.
That cover rips,
It
and
is
that
so
album
good.
rips. And
It does. Every Death
again,
album rips, though.
yeah, again, another band that are good. And again, we're mentioning another musician that's dead,
That just seems
who
to
I
be the
love.
common
Yeah,
theme, isn't it?
Yeah.
I almost feel
yeah.
terrible. Imagine if Death was still around now. Imagine.
That would be quite interesting to see what route they would have gone.
I think
You
they'd have
know,
went more than the kind of like the human symbolic
maybe they,
the later
maybe they,
era. I think they'd have went
yeah.
down that route more.
I mean, maybe they would have been more cynicky, because
That's
what
a
is
good
it?
point.
What was the other project that he did? With the clean vocals.
Oh, I
Oh,
don't remember.
it's very sick. Chuck did an album with I can't remember who it was, but it's like clean vocals, but it's very sick. And Control Denied.
Yeah,
Maybe he would
that's
have
it.
done, yeah, maybe would have done more stuff with that, which would have been awesome. But at the same time, like maybe whenever you think about like these older like rock dudes and whatever, you think, oh, maybe actually it's a good thing, so like they didn't end up, I don't know, getting outed as an arsehole or something, if you know what I
That's
mean.
very true. That is very true. And there was
Thought
all
you're
these
gonna
there was all
thought you're
these
gonna say
stories
that.
of Death, like Chuck Schuldiner being very much a control freak. So that probably would have came back to bite him in the arse.
Who knows? Who knows? What were you gonna say, Peter?
I was going to say that. I thought you were going to say that like some other bands just like kind of going from being really good to just kind of, mediocre
That could have
release.
happened.
Going completely, from being heavy to being light, something that Keith very often complains about every single band that is playing a slightly lighter album than the previous one.
It has
And that's, I
catchy
thought,
hooks. Terrible.
Keith is a very hard man to please. I don't
Oh,
think I mind us saying that.
oh yeah, very much so.
We'll find out when this episode comes out, and then there's all the drama, and he
All
announces
been
he's
sacked.
leaving or whatever.
Yeah.
Literally. Anyway,
Oh,
next question.
yeah.
What year did Rob Trujillo join Metallica?
Oh. Um, Jason, when did Jason leave? Just before. Was Jason on fucking Saint Anger? No, he wasn't. Of course he wasn't. 2000 and Piotr, do you have any idea?
What year was Sin
You're
Anger?
a bass. I can't
You're a
even
bass
remember.
player, you'll know, right?
Yeah, you're a bass player. Maybe if I
That's a
stare
start.
at my bass over there, it will tell me. No, I'm gonna say it's earlier than we think, and I reckon it's going to be 2004.
Let's go with that.
These things are always earlier than you remember them being.
You are so close because it's 2003.
Ah,
You were so close, Jim.
oh
We're still in
man.
2 points with three more questions to go. We can still make it, boys. We can still get on the board. Next question. Which former Megadeth guitarist joined in Flames?
Um, Christ. Uh,
I know there's been
yeah,
so many former Megadeth guitarists. I wonder
yeah,
why.
yeah. Mm, it's not him. It's not Mike Freeman. It's not. Oh,
Yeah, I wish that Dave could have joined because he
Dave would know all
remembers
this stuff. He knows these facts.
so many answers to that kind of
Good at
question.
movie trivia. I'm good at history. I'm good at politics. But
I know.
music, something I say I love so much. Something that I do know, like lots of random facts about, but I do not know.
No?
Brant Bjornsson. I'm just gonna say that as a name.
Yeah. Yeah, let's
It
go with that.
was Chris Broderick.
Ah, yeah, yeah. Dave would have known that.
Yeah.
And that ties in very nicely into the next question.
Oh.
Obviously, we all know of the Halo effect, made up of former In Flames members. How many can you name? There's five. You'll get a point for each member you name
That are in the Halo effect.
that are in the Halo effect. You put your phone away.
What's the name of that? My mind has gone completely blank in terms of In Flames members. I can literally see the guy's face in my head. Piotr, do you know any of the names of the people from In Flames? Because I cannot remember at this period.
Yeah, see, when I listen to music, I end up listening to music and not never actually look up names of the people that do that, which is
I usually
It
know
was the
very
them.
same
bad
thing
for
with Ophenham
trivia.
yesterday.
Yeah, very bad for trivia questions.
Uh, I'm the guy. I can literally see the guy's face and his guitar. But I cannot remember Brant something or something Swedish.
I mean, they're all Swedish.
Well, yeah. uh,
Johan Hans, uh, Olaf,
There goes the
Sigmund
one
IKEA.
Swedish person that likes this
and
show.
Anders.
I actually do not know. I'm ashamed of myself because I love In Flames.
I love In Flames as well, man.
Their new album is really good.
It
Uh,
really is. It is the best they have done in fucking ages.
yeah, I will, I think In Flames deserve a bit of respect. They get a lot of shit for like mid-career stuff, but I think All In Flames has got a place. But the
It
new one
definitely
is,
does. Like, one of my favorite albums is Soundtrack to Your Escape, you know?
they've all got bangers on them, but yeah, the new one is a
It's
nice
good.
return to
Definitely is. And I hope they keep going in that direction.
that would be sick.
I think they will. I think they will, especially with the kind of surge in death metal that's happening in the moment. It'd be
Mm,
stupid not to. you know?
Yeah, they toured with Gatecreeper, or Gatecreeper toured with them, should I say? So, and that,
And bands like Orbit
it,
Culture and Fit for an Autopsy as
yep,
well.
yep. Oh, Fit for an Autopsy. Oh, that's a band I can.
I do love them.
Did you
But
see them
anyway,
recently in Glasgow?
I I didn't know. A few friends of
Uh,
mine went to see it and they sounded killer. The new album's killer. But I'm very lucky that I got to see them just before COVID because they did I think it was on a headline tour by Carnifex and Thy Art before they got cancelled.
mm, oh wow. Because I saw them when they came with the last time with Whitechapel and Spite, and that was tasty. Spite are really good.
Spite are
Uh,
fucking mental live.
that guy's voice is so good.
It really is. And he's terrifying.
Yeah, with his boiler suit on. But no, Fit are that they are something special. I think they are very good. And that gig at QMU with it was them, Silosis, Darkest Hour, who Darkest Hour, one of the most underrated bands, I believe. And speaking of In
Amen to that.
Flames, I think
Amen
Darkest
to that.
Hour, especially their newest album,
It is
very
really good.
tasty. And obviously Harriet, who are fucking sick. So that was a real treat.
Really good mix of kind of old blood and new blood there as well.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Um, Darkest Hour coming up. It's the 30th anniversary next year,
It's kind of
which is
mad to think
insane.
about, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, which is insane. And they are a band that haven't relented. They haven't really changed their sound that much.
You never really see that.
Yeah, their last few albums before the newer one were like more hardcorey, but still kind of very, very In Flames. But the new one is so sick. It's got some top bangers on there. It's real
Hmm.
nice stuff.
It is real nice stuff. But anyway, back to the trivia question of the Halo Effect members. Is it safe to say we've given up?
But we've definitely given up.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's completely fine. The answers were Mikael Stan of Dark Tranquillity, as
Yeah.
well as a whole bunch of other shit, which is mental. He's in like four different bands or some shit. It's kind of mad. He put out a like a goth rock album with the guitar player from Insomnium, and it's really good. Cemetery Skyline, Nordic Gothic, really
Okay,
good.
I'll
Just
check them out.
fucking kind of groovy goth rock,
Mhm.
beautiful synths, beautiful singing, really good. So we have Michael Stan, Peter Iwers, who was their bass player for the longest time, obviously the legendary Jesper Stromblad as well,
Yeah.
Nicholas Englund, who replaced him for a bit, and then it was kind of we didn't know if he was in or out, and then Daniel Svensson.
Mm. All very Swedish.
Yes, very Swedish.
Very, very
Trying very
Swedish.
hard to not mispronounce these names. Not, I mean, they're never going to see this. I would shit myself if they were like, "You got my name wrong, bro." I'd immediately be like, "Please, sorry, sorry." But anyway, one more question, so we have one more chance to get on the board. At least we're sitting at 2 points at the moment. Again, not judging. This is purely just for fun, and I like to spring it on people because it's like, "Oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck."
Mm,
But next, well, final question. How many years were there in between the last two Hypocrisy albums?
man.
I'll give
Uh.
you I'll give you a little hint. It was more than the standard kind of time between albums.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, no. They took a long time because the last one came out. Oh, I don't even know. Piotr, I'm just gonna say like 15 years, man. Because at this point, I'm like, I think it's even
Uh,
longer than that. I think it's 18 years actually.
let's do that. Let's put it 18. Final answer.
8,
Oh, I thought it
because
was longer than that.
it was 8 years. Their last one before the latest one was out in 2013, and then Worship came out in 2021.
All right, I forgot about the 2013 one.
I think it was end of
Uh,
end of Disclosure, I think it was. I don't remember the exact title, but that came out in 2013, and then eventually they came out with Worship in 2021.
yeah, I haven't listened to
Well,
Hypocrisy in a while.
Jem, we can blame Dave for not showing up or not being
Exactly,
able
he
to
was
show up,
supposed to be
rather.
here. You
Yeah.
know,
It's
I
fine,
gotta
we'll just
say,
blame Dave.
these are some crackingly. These are like Dark Souls. This is the Dark Souls of music trivia. It's
Well, I'm not
some
gonna
tough.
make it easy, am I? That would be
Exactly.
stupid.
Yeah. No, it's cool.
Fair.
it's cool. I've learned some things in
You've
this
learned some
Yeah.
stuff, and you're going to
this
check
chat.
out more music after this, you know? So,
Exactly.
so
Exactly.
everybody takes something away, you know? And I get to laugh at how you're all stressing the fuck out. So
Yeah.
everybody wins kind of situation. But that was a lot of fun. So we have Hammer on the board with 2 points. Hey, peep, who knows? Who knows what the next one is? Hammer have 2 points, Ophanim have 2.5 points, Doppelganger have 3 points, and James McBain of Hellripper is currently still in the lead with 4.5 points. Who knows where it'll go on the next one? Who knows?
Congratulations
Maybe
to them.
someone will usurp James as the king of Sir Edward's Cracking the Shell Untitled Trivia section. I will work out a
Or
better name, maybe. Who knows? Might just
or
keep
we
it.
won't be last. There's always a chance of that as well. You
That
know,
is very true.
someone will get a solid 1 point or something like that.
Who
There's
knows?
always hope.
There is always hope. There is always hope. But, and speaking of hope, I'm definitely hoping to hear and see a lot more of Hammer in the future. Obviously, we had the two singles this year, which were mad bangers, and I'm very happy to have heard them live as well as recorded. What else is in the pipeline that you can obviously talk about without getting in trouble?
Uh, well, at the moment, we have a number of tracks that are being mixed. So we will have enough for a substantial release in the new year. So that's kind of the main focus, right, over the last few months between like Bloodstock and some of our closing shows this year. That was really what we were spending our time doing. So it's been recording that, getting it mixed. So we took that to Nameless City for the drums for Heath to record those, and then our boy Chris, who's also in Kakehara, awesome sort of like mathcore, hardcore beat doom sort of band. Uh, he's mixing it, and then that's being sent to some top chap, from what I understand, to be mastered in
Yeah,
the
the
year.
same
And
the
when
same guy who mastered Iron Altars
yes, Grant something.
newest album. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's going to be really cool because and we're not like we don't have like a release date or anything like nailed down at the moment because I think we don't want to rush it out, and we want to explore what our options might be for getting that released and distributed. So we don't want to jump the gun, but we're I think safe to say, Piotr, like we're pretty happy with what we're hearing so far.
Oh yeah.
Um, I think it pushes that envelope out. I think expect more of what you heard in the From Beyond and Accelerator. I think our older stuff is a little bit more thrashy, and this is definitely leaning more into that extreme kind of vibe that we've found. So that's one thing. Do you want to tell them about our tour plan, Peter?
Yeah, we are going to be doing a wee trip of UK at the end of January. And it will be was the name Swarms of Hammers and Vermins?
Swarm of vermin and hammers. So it's
Vermin and
us,
Hammer.
yeah, us swarms and vermin throne, who have sort of come together to do a little tour.
Yep.
Um,
And we'll be playing in order. Bristol, Milton Keynes, Edinburgh, and Newcastle. And that would be from the 30th of January to 2nd of January. A small tour that we're going to have. First time we're actually going on a proper tour, and it's definitely looks like it's going to be a good fun, and yeah, the chance to show ourselves down south
mm, yeah,
and mark our presence.
I think it's going to be very cool. Like one of our big goals next year is to just spread out of Scotland as much as we can. Obviously, still want to play here as much as humanly possible, but I think for us, it's getting down south a bit and wherever else we can sort of find a way and just networking. Getting to meet new bands. I mean, this thing with this tour we're doing at the end of Jan is it's just come through conversations with. So I met Swarms for the warm up show for the metal to the Masters final. They're heavy. They're heavy as they're cool guys. And Vermin thrown a like an equally awesome band who have I think making some good movement. So I think yeah for us next year it's leveraging friendships, right? And getting around and just playing gigs wherever we can get them in, and we have more gigs planned for the year, which we will announce. But yeah, more stuff down south, um, more stuff. So yeah, hoping to get more stuff. But the big one for us is getting that album sorted, and in a place where we can release it, because yeah, we've I think set our intent this year with those two singles and the Bloodstock performance, but it's we I'm this is why I'm so glad we're doing the tour at the end of Jan because it's the best way to shake off the winter blues. The end of January, everyone will have been paid and we can just get on the road and go to start the year how we want to finish it. I think so. Yeah, we just want to make loads more noise and meet people and have a good time, basically.
I think that's the best way to sum it up. Just make noises, meet people, and have a good time. And I
Exactly.
guarantee you, if you're attending any of those cities that were previously listed, you will have a good time. As you could,
Thank you, man.
you might even say they're going to bring the hammer down, and I'll leave now. Bye.
Yep.
Had to make the joke. It's right there. You can't not
Yes.
make the joke.
Gotta do it, man. You got to hammer it through, and of course, like other
See,
things,
you did it again.
exactly. But other things as well, we want to do more merch, more music videos, just more stuff, and yeah, we just want to keep doing new cool stuff. Like I literally just said, yeah, just doing stuff, meeting people, making horrible noises, but being nice to each other about it.
Yeah.
That's the best way to do it, eh?
Do some
Yeah.
silly stuff for videos, maybe.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. We've got some cool
you
ideas
know.
for videos. I think we'll get some of the more generic, just some dudes yelling at a camera, but we have one video we really want to like push the boat out for. We're all big fans of, splatter exploitation films from like the 70s and 80s. So, we want to bring our love of that to a video. That would be very, very sick. Nothing concrete at the moment. We do have some ideas. So yeah, we just want to keep like being Hammer, I guess, and finding what it means to be Hammer. I think it's a self-discovery process all the time. I know that sounds really shitty and like up my own ass, but like, I think over the last year we've evolved. It's been sick, and I think we'll continue to do that. And the other thing is just writing more material. Once we've recorded this album, we've got to figure out how to keep people interested and entertained with more horrible noises.
And there's always more of them coming. There's
Yeah.
endless well of horrible noises you can go into.
That could be the
Um,
backprint of a t-shirt right there. An endless well of horrible noises. I'll buy it.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'll
as the
wear it.
as the album title.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'd laugh if that actually
Trademark
becomes the
right now.
fucking end. If that actually becomes the album title, I'm going to laugh because that's brilliant. And it kind of fits in with that kind of like splatter humor theme that
Yeah.
I could see you guys kind of going into, especially because you don't really see a lot of bands kind of having that humor aspect to it. I mean, obviously, Party Cannon are the big ones for that, with the fucking logo and the constant balloons. And I'm terrified to think of Daryl's vocals after like spending half an hour blowing up balloons backstage, but you know.
Exactly. I think for us, like, I don't think, yeah, I don't think we take ourselves like too seriously. I think you have to take yourself seriously to some extent, right? Otherwise, you know, you want to be happy with what you're doing. But
Oh,
yeah, I
none
don't,
of our music or lyrics are sort of comedic in kind of what they are. There are no riffs written as jokes. There's no lyrics kind of with puns or anything like that. But that doesn't mean we need to be, completely serious,
yeah,
dead staring as we're playing, or having some sort of putting on some sort of serious personas as we enter the stage.
Exactly.
We're kind of just as we are, as we're kind of highlighted probably a dozen of times here. We're having fun and just want to show that we are having fun,
Yeah.
and you know having a laugh while playing the music. That's
Yeah.
that. Not to be too serious with ourselves, because you might end up losing that fun bit somewhere amongst there. So
Yeah, it's
that's at least
fun.
how I see it.
Yeah, yeah, we do like to have fun. Yeah, yeah, nothing is like serious, but nothing's yeah, the lyrics aren't silly, but yeah, they're not serious either, like From Beyond is about the film From Beyond, and if you've ever seen that, that is a very silly film. And Accelerator is about I mean, you could probably like interpret that quite seriously about, the ravages of industrialization and its effect
It was
on
the American Railway expansion
yeah,
west, which was pretty harrowing in terms of how the workers were exploited there. But at the same time, it's a song about trains.
trains. Yeah.
So,
It's about trains, man. And I think yeah, we have Alive, which is some of the songs are just they're just like Alive is about being buried alive. It's all pretty it's just standard metal kind of stuff. But yeah, we don't take it seriously. We just want to have fun with it. Like on stage, it's not about like I've done the black metal thing. I've stood there and just like sort of stared at the audience and they I don't really want to do that. I want to have fun. Like I love
yeah,
stomping around on stage and having a bit of a groove and just having a good time. Like one of my favorite videos is What a Horrible Night to Have a Curse by Black Dahlia Murder, where it's just the behind the scenes footage of them, like at festivals and on tour. Um, and I kind of ripped that style off of the Accelerate video when I put that one together. But yeah, I think that's us, man. We're just like nerds. We're just like a bunch of blokes in our 30s who love horror movies and video games, and just want to, like meet other people like us and have a good time, you know? And it's, yeah, like, yeah, that's just what
yeah.
we do.
See, it's a beautiful mission statement right there. Horrible noises, be nerds, meet cool people.
Exactly.
It's the best
Exactly.
mission
Yeah,
statement. And with
100%.
that, we'll start wrapping up. I'd like to thank you both very much for appearing in here with me and giving me a reason to pay the 15 quid a month for Zoom unlimited meetings. Because otherwise, with the free shit, you only get 40 minutes. That's not a fucking
Aye.
podcast. That's the only reason that I have the Zoom thing is this. So thank you for giving me a reason to keep paying that 15 quid a month, but also just to because I have fun doing this and it's cool to kind of highlight the talent that this scene has had post-COVID. It has boomed to the point where it's getting near enough international attention. Prime example, when Sanguisugabog played here, and I think it was February, you see Devin Swank wearing an Iniquitous Savagery t-shirt while shouting out Coffin Mulch and Penny Coffin. Prime example. It's expanding, and we can only hope to further that expansion and eventually take over the world.
I think I
Good plan.
support that. I support that mission. Uh, I think there is a general feeling of community in the Scottish music scene, and it's fucking awesome to be part of that. I feel like a lot of people have got each other's interests in mind. It's not just a bunch of mercenaries being in other scenes where it can be like that. And you're gonna get that everywhere, but I don't know. Yeah, here it feels cool. And thank you for having us because I've seen you flying the flag for so many bands who I really enjoy and have got to know, and it's sick to be part of that. I owe a lot to the scene and that up here. And I think I said it in a comment on Instagram. I just want to, give back and make sure everyone else get the best out of it because life can fucking suck.
Yeah,
And music's a great way to meet like-minded people and not be miserable.
amen to that. Amen to that.
Absolutely.
I'd like to thank everybody so much for watching. If you like what you hear, make sure to hit up the links down below for everything Hammer. Check out the tour they're doing next year. New album in the works. Two new amazing songs already. I'm sure plenty of more cool stuff. That's been the key word this episode is just stuff, and it's great. There's a fun drinking game. Take a shot every time we say stuff. Note the Cracking the Shell podcast and Hammer are not responsible for any deaths or injuries that
Yeah.
occur. But
Yeah.
thank you everybody so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share the episode around. We need to make Scottish death metal go global. Thank you
Yeah.
everybody for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.
Cheers, everyone.
Thank you
Peace.
so much.